Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Frenkie de Jong and his injury. Then later we're also going to be talking about Ansu Fati's injury and then speak about Marc Bernal's contract renewal, which is very important. Barcelona have secured a number 6 player. All of this is going to be talked about for today's video. So let's first talk about Frenkie de Jong. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little frustrated because of what has been going on with Frenkie de Jong, and not just because of his fitness, but also because of how much he does earn with Barcelona. So let me explain. It says here, according to Javi Miguel, that Frenkie de Jong will not participate in the USA tour. The player met with Hansi Flick and both parties decided it's best off for him to continue his recovery in Barcelona. Frenkie de Jong's ankle is not healing as expected. Though the club tried to downplay the injury, they admit the recovery time has been longer than usual with no signs of short-term solutions. As of today, no one at the club can assure whether he will be available for the start of the season, which will be on August 17th against Valencia. So it's very unfortunate to hear that Frenkie de Jong has gotten injured. Now let's remember, Frenkie de Jong did not get injured with Barcelona. Frenkie got injured when he was with the Netherlands, and it was even before the Euros did start. He got injured during the training sessions, and then a day later, Ronald Koeman, a former coach of Barcelona, shouted out Barcelona in a very bad way, saying that they have overused Frenkie de Jong, which I don't understand. I don't understand why Koeman would make such a statement like that. It's not Barcelona's fault. Barcelona have the rights to use Frenkie as much as they want. In my opinion, the medical staff of the Netherlands should have taken care of Frenkie de Jong, because Frenkie de Jong never went through no more than one injury in the previous season, and then immediately as he got to the Euros, he got injured straight away. So those comments were ridiculous. Barcelona is not a place for us to make sure that this player should be rested enough and healthy enough to perform with the national team. No, that is not correct. If anything, it should be the reverse. The national teams have to take care of their players because they have big duties with their clubs, and those clubs pay these players a lot of money. So the reason why this annoys me overall is because if you go look at who is going to be paid the most in La Liga in the upcoming season, the two highest earners will be Frenkie de Jong and Lewandowski. Lewandowski and Frenkie de Jong will be paid more than Kylian Mbappe. Frenkie will be earning 37.5 million euros a season. Lewandowski will be earning 33.3 million euros a season. And then comes Kylian Mbappe in third place with a total of 31.2 million euros per season. Now, let's also keep in mind the reason why Frenkie is so high up the list today and why he is the highest earner in La Liga is because back in 2020, when COVID hit Barcelona, Bartomeu could not pay Frenkie de Jong the wages that he signed up for. And so what Bartomeu ended up doing was he postponed like 80% of the salary that was supposed to be paid in 2020 and 2021 and pushed it to 2024, 2025, and 2026. And that is why today we see the season with such a high wage bill. Frenkie de Jong is going to be earning 37.5 million euros because around 40 to 50% of this money was supposed to be paid 3 to 4 years ago. But let's just say, for example, right, maybe 15 million euros is not supposed to be here today from that 37.5 million euros of Frenkie. Still, that would mean that he would be earning 22.2 million euros a season. That is still a lot of money, and for a player who performs in the way that he does with Barcelona, earning 22 million euros a season is not justifiable, my friend. That is too much money for a player who has very little effectiveness on the pitch. I'm not saying that Frenkie de Jong is a bad player and that he's horrible and that he should belong in the second division. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that based off the performances he does give, there is no reason for him to be earning around 22 million euros at the very least. With the performances, the effectiveness, the goals and the assists that he does provide, this is a player that should be earning around 10 to 12 million euros a season, not 22, 25, and then, you know, for today, 37.5 million euros a season. It's just too much money. Once again, I want to make it very clear. He's a class player, but he is not a holding midfielder like Sergio Busquets, and that is why a lot of us do see Frenkie as very unnecessary today. And even though he does give some pros from this sporting project, there is more cons than pros with Frenkie de Jong, and I believe that ultimately it is best for Frenkie to be sold. Will he be sold? I don't think so. I think that Hansi Flick is going to want him. He's going to want to try him out, and we'll see how it goes from there. But as of now, at the time that I am recording this video, for Frenkie to earn this amount of money and seeing what he has been given out for the past 3 to 4 years, it just does not make any sense. Frenkie de Jong is a player that can play as the second highest midfielder, right? He's not a number 8 and he's not a number 6. He's a very talented player, but his profile is very unique, which is why it's so hard for us to find a position for him, which is why I believe that he should be the second highest midfielder. I just don't see him being in Pedri's position, nor do I see him being in Christensen's position. His passing is not good enough to be a number 8, and defensively, he's not good enough to be in number 6. He lacks a lot within those areas. He's a world-class dribbler. He's a world-class ball progressor, but where does that fit in Barcelona's sporting project? And so because because he is so skilled and because he is such a great ball dribbler and not a pivot player, he should be more than capable to be scoring goals and providing assists because his skill sets allows him to, but his numbers are not so high. He never surpassed his 14 goal contribution from the 2020-2021 season. He had 7 goals and 7 assists. I think that for a player like him, he can surpass those numbers, but he has yet to do that. And so I would say for now, right, because I do think that he will not be sold. Let's just see how he does under Hansi Flick, because Hansi Flick is a coach that can exaggerate a player's level. I think that Hansi Flick will give Frenkie de Jong the Kimmich role, where he will be the second highest midfielder and be right in front of a player like Christensen, maybe Kubarsi, maybe Gavi, who knows who's going to be in that pivot position, and right behind a player like Pedri or Gundogan. Now moving on towards the next player that has gotten injured, and that is Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati has encountered a foot injury, and this is huge news because we have all thought that maybe Ansu Fati could be returning, but it says here that Barcelona have confirmed that Ansu Fati has sustained an injury on his sole on his right foot. The young forward will undergo conservative treatment with his return to training dependent on how the injury evolves. Fati will not join the team for the preseason tour in the US and will remain in Barcelona to focus on his recovery. Then we have other reports stating that Ansu Fati's recovery's timeline is uncertain, with the potential to be sidelined for anywhere from 3 weeks to over a month and a half. The injury is known for its slow recovery and challenging problems. Inigo Martinez had a very similar problem, and it took him 2 months to recover. Now, just because Ansu Fati did encounter this injury, Hansi Flick is not going to be keeping his eye away from him. He still thinks that he can get the best out of Ansu Fati. Reports have suggested that Fati has shown remarkable progress in the first 17 days of preseason, impressing the coaching staff, particularly Hansi Flick, with his dedication and performance. After a disappointing loan spell at Brighton, Fati returned to Barcelona with renewed motivation. His goal was to improve physically during the preseason and earn Flick's trust. The club noted that his personalized training regimen was yielding significant results, with his progression deemed highly promising. And so once again, Ansu Fati was doing amazing during the training sessions, and Hansi Flick has been so amazed by what he saw so far. Alex Pintanel has also claimed that the coaching staff recognized his potential and was optimistic about his contributions, but now everything is going to be focused on his recovery, with the hopes of him returning to full fitness as fast as possible. And so I really do hope that everything goes well, because honestly, if you look at the past 2 years with his injury history, he only had one so far. In the 2023-2024 season, he only had one injury that took him out for 69 days and he missed 14 matches. In the 2022-2023 season, he only had one, which was the knee bruise. He barely got injured under Xavi Hernandez's Barcelona on that season when they won La Liga. He missed only 2 matches. So as you can see, back in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, he was going through many different injuries, getting injured 2 to 3 times a season. But ever since the 2022-2023 season, you can see that his injuries are slowly fading away. Maybe this could be an optimistic view of Ansu Fati's fitness. And so I believe that eventually we will see the best. Maybe he's just unlucky for now, and it's important for him to recover his explosiveness, because the prime Ansu Fati had that. If Ansu Fati does not regain his explosiveness, which he has been working on during the training sessions, we will not see the Ansu Fati that we saw back in 2019. So that has to be the goal. And now the focus is going to be on Vitor Roque and Pau Victor, a player that has just been signed with Barcelona on a permanent deal. Now moving on towards the last conversation, and I do want to speak about Marc Bernal. It is official. Barcelona have reached an agreement with Marc Bernal for the adaptation of his contract, which he had the club until June 30th, 2026, meaning that his contract can go up until 2029 because he has 3 optional years as well. Let's remember, Marc Bernal rejected other top European clubs to continue at Barcelona. They were all willing to pay his release clause of 6 million euros, but Marc Bernal said, no, I'm okay. I want to make a statement at Barcelona. I love the club. I want to represent the colors, and that is why, even though these top European clubs want to pay me more, I want to reject them. I want to continue at Barca in hopes to get first team minutes. And there has been many reports stating that Hansi Flick is very happy with the way that Marc Bernal has been training. Right now, Barcelona is looking for a number 6, whether it's on the market or in La Masia. And right now, Marc Bernal can be a huge candidate. He's a player with exceptional talent and potential. He was born and bred with La Masia Academy. He's extremely versatile. He's a gifted midfielder, and he embodies the qualities of the Barcelona youth system. He can play as a number 8, but his main position is the number 6 position. Many coaches and journalists have described him to be a technical player with vision and awareness, versatile, and has huge work ethic. It has been widely praised. He's relentless, and his determination to improve and contribute to the team has earned him the respect from the coaches and his teammates. And so I cannot wait to see what he does have to bring for Barca Athletic, and hopefully maybe in the first team if Hansi truly does trust him. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.